Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Monday. I'm not used to saying that. They hardly ever play on Monday. Welcome to Game Day Live. This is presented by the Let's Go Devils podcast and the Primetime Radio Studios, along with Crew Brew. My name is Vinnie, Parise, and I am here with Shorts Guy as we get you set for New Jersey Devils hockey as they take on the Nashville Predators. Make sure you go to joinourcrew.com and sign up for all things relating to the Let's Go Devils podcast network. Welcome to all fans watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever it's called. Shorts Guy, you got Smashville on a Monday night. Two things we're not used to seeing: the Devils playing the Predators and the Devils playing on Monday night.
Yeah, absolutely. And go figure, the 1 week, one of the very few weeks I have off on a Tuesday, the Devils don't have a game on a Tuesday. It's just the way it goes. It's awesome. Just the way it goes. But yeah, it's definitely one of those interesting Western Conference games on an interesting, different kind of night. And you know what? It's going to be a good night for our New Jersey Devils, I feel like.
Absolutely. Do you remember? I can't remember if it was the 2017-18 season when they were good or that letdown 2018-2019 season where they started off good and then they traded Hall and everything went to crap from there. But they played on Thanksgiving in Montreal. And they blew their doors off. The Devils just steamrolled the Canadians on Thanksgiving that year. Do you remember that game? And are you happy they don't play on Thanksgiving this year? Nobody plays on Thanksgiving this year. Not even any of the Canadian teams are hosting a game, which kind of is nice.
Yeah, I don't remember that game specifically, but I do thought I thought that there was something where they weren't supposed to play on Thanksgiving. Like I thought that was like a league mandate where they didn't play, where they got like a day or two off for the holiday. But no, I don't remember that. But my memory is also terrible. So there's really no surprise that I would forget the Devils played on a Thanksgiving. But yeah, I'm kind of happy that we're not playing on Thanksgiving this week. But I do know that this Thanksgiving week is packed full of Devils hockey. Like we have more Devils hockey than we've had in a long time. Well, I shouldn't say that because October was busy, but this is going to be a busy week. You and I are going to have a lot. We're going to be seeing a lot of each other this week, Vinny.
Yes, we are. Playing tonight against the Nashville Predators. And then you got the St. Louis Blues, who just hired Jim Montgomery, who the former coach of the Boston Bruins, who was just fired just a little bit over a week ago. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's a big game. And then they play again on Friday. I do have that game November 28th, 2019. The New Jersey Devils, the 9-11-4 New Jersey Devils beat the 11-9-5 Montreal Canadiens. Blake Coleman, Travis Zajac, Miles Wood, and Jesper Boquist, Damon Severson, and then Blake Coleman again all scored for New Jersey. Wow. Jack Hughes took a penalty, something he doesn't do very often.
No, that happens like once.
He was a rookie.
Oh,
yeah.
Still, the trend was there for him not to do it, but holy. Man, that's a lineup we haven't heard in a while, and I really very much like enjoying not having hockey on Thanksgiving. There's enough football on Thanksgiving, and it's interesting to watch European soccer on Thanksgiving too because it's not a holiday for them. So and it's usually some like weird Europa League match and somewhere in like middle of nowhere, Denmark or Sweden, which is always fun to watch. But yeah, it's
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I enjoy them getting the day off. I mean, we are bookending Thanksgiving. We're playing Wednesday. We're playing Friday. So you and I are going to be doing Game Day Live on both of those days, and it's going to be a good stretch. Like we got through this last stretch of really good teams, and we were talking in our last time together how we would have been happy just with the wins we had prior to the last game, and then here we are. We get the victory the other night, and man, this team looks something else, man. I'm pretty pumped on this team right now.
Yeah, so am I. And just to bookend that last conversation, me and Shorts Guy each have to watch our stinky NFL teams play on Thanksgiving, as the Giants will play the Dallas Cowboys, and my Chicago Bears will take on the Detroit Lions. Both of them are probably going to get steamrolled on the road by the two teams that play on Thanksgiving every year. But yeah, back to the Devils. They 4-1-0 in that 5-game stretch
I
against
know.
Carolina,
And
2 against Florida, Tampa Bay, and Washington. 4 elite teams in the Eastern Conference right now.
and I flew all the way to Florida to see the one.
Yeah,
Myself,
the one that they
Sam,
didn't even
and
score a
Mrs. Wu.
goal.
We flew all the way to
That's
Florida to see
hilarious.
that one. But that's okay. That was
Absolutely.
such a fun trip. That's such a fun trip down to Tampa. I can't wait till you can join us on one of these trips, Vinny, because you would absolutely have such a blast. It was well worth it, even with the loss, the only loss of the last stretch of 5 games. I'll take it because it was a lot of fun. But I'm hoping the Devils can just continue what they've been doing, going into tonight's game against Nashville. I toyed with going to the game tonight, but I also know what I have coming up this week as far as the schedule. I definitely know that I was not able to make tonight's game because I haven't been to a home game in a while, and I'm looking forward to getting there sometime soon. So it's about time. Everybody in the chat, there's Brooke Amanda. I see Ted. I see Max, Joseph, Stephen Engels there. Eddie. Hello, everyone. Select the boy. AJ Visco, attorney at law, is joining us once again in between studying for his court cases. But yeah, we got our regular listeners here for this Western Conference matchup with Nashville, who, not for nothing, but Nashville for retooling. Which, whenever anyone uses that phrase retooling, I think of that one scene from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when the boss is on the phone, just going, retooling, I'll retool you, and slams. Like, it's the only thing I think about. But retooling seems to be like the phrase that everyone wants to use instead of rebuilding. But this team has been in a rebuild, and they brought in some pieces, some pretty big pieces in the offseason, and it just didn't click at first. They did not look good. Soros went down. The big mystery of the summer of where Askarov was going to go. He goes to San Jose and hasn't seen much time at all at the NHL level.
I think he's making his first start of the season tonight. He was the first off the ice in practice for San Jose.
That's a telling move right there. And this is one of those weird teams this year that we just don't know. They're just I don't want to say an anomaly. I feel like I use that word often a lot recently, but they were confusing. The pieces they have, they were just confusing in their results.
Absolutely, and because of Nashville's roster, they were like a pretty good team last year. You might remember they went on that big winning streak after canceling the U2 concert, as we have footage from American Whiskey where Sam Wu is there with no headset, which is why he's not joining us, for those who are wondering where the big Sam Wu dog is. That Nashville team, they were good, right? They took Vancouver to the brink. Did it go to Game 7? It might have went to Game 7 or Game 6. I think it was Game 6, but they put up a fight in Game 6, and Vancouver prevailed. But that Nashville team, that good team, didn't really lose anybody. And then they add Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, and Brady Shea, who have been pillars for franchises for the last however many years. You could make a claim that Stamkos is the greatest Lightning player ever. You could make a claim that Marchessault is the greatest Golden Knights player ever, with all their rich history of 7 years or whatever. But the point still stands. He's been a great player. Exactly, but he's been a great player for them, and it's just not working. But because Nashville has these pieces, we were talking about this a little bit on there, you don't necessarily know what you're going to get from them, because with all that talent, they didn't forget how to play hockey. It's just they're all kind of not clicking, having bad nights most of the time so far this year. But it wouldn't shock anybody if on any random night they started a 7-game winning streak, due to the fact that not only do they have Stamkos, Marchessault, and Brady Shea, I mean, this is a team that has a goaltender like UC Saros. Philippe Forsberg is one of the most dynamic, creative players I've ever seen in the NHL's history. So it's going to be an interesting game for the Devils. You brought up the loss against Tampa Bay a couple games ago that you were at. Do you know the Devils in their last 12 games or I think it's 13 games, they are 10-3-0? Do you know what all 3 of those losses have in common?
Were they all shutouts? Against?
They were all shutouts against the